Mhm.
I
So
gotta
Cuck
check it out.
Matchmaker can't he can't see my jersey.
He can.
And
He
I can
can.
see everything.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
on
okay.
Discord, so he can see our
Uh,
bits.
I might put some video on in a safe space. I'm in the office over there, but some
And
shit might be happening behind me.
the titty
And
might
we
fly
live in a
through.
two-party state, so gotta have permission to film everybody around this mammoth jamma. Know the laws in your states, please.
Yeah, clothed or not clothed. Then
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna check the audio and then we'll start. I gotta check the string.
Yeah. I'm watching the dude diving in his wife like right now. Like he her legs up. Like right now. I can see the bottoms of her soles of her feet right now.
He's getting to the bottom of her soul right now.
Yeah, gotta spread wide open. Wide open.
Looking for revenge.
And now I'm watching this size queen, the one that we were just talking to. Now she about to get like beat out the frame right now. Buddy about to slam her to the ground. Yep. See what happens when you do it right, consensually. Now you about to dick her to the ground.
So there's a lot of regulars at these events that
Yeah,
you go to. Yeah.
yeah. There's people who are they come to the regular parties and then they may invite somebody and all kinds of stuff like that. Hmm.
I want to have a snake goddess, of like where I roll in real fucking deep with some of the HOA girls one of these days.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they all really about it. Really about that.
About it,
Might have
about
to do it during the fall, right? During football season,
it. What does that matter? What do you mean?
because you could do it every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? To really
Oh
get it
my
popping.
god. This cat.
Every Sunday. Okay.
Every Sunday.
Listen,
Fucking
we're all on
fucking
that.
football Sunday.
What? MILF life. So,
Yeah, however we fit it in the schedule.
Mm.
Alright, let's get it popping, man. Go ahead and do the intro. We're in.
All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Central Snake broadcast. I am your host, the Cuck Matchmaker Cervix Commander, and my beautiful co-host, Lady Anaconda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you this evening? Nice
I'm
jersey.
fabulous. Thank you. I'm fabulous as always. Repping Miami tonight. Just living that elite Pure West MILF existence.
You survived the hurricane. How you feel about that?
Oh, please. Please. It's my second one now. I'm full fluid now. I got this.
All
Yes, sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
So we have a few subjects that we want to get into tonight, and we want to, as always, give a real world perspective, a real world current events with a kink or lifestyle or our shade on it, as far as completing the circle. So tonight, one of our subjects is brats or women begging for daddy attention, and the right way to get attention and the wrong way to get attention.
First
So
thing, I don't have to show you up, but you got to introduce your mans too.
my bad, bro. I didn't know you was on the screen. I'm tripping. I'm not looking at the screen.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this dude diving his wife real quick. I apologize. So
Don't be,
my
don't be
homeboy,
next
my
time.
brother, Daddy Rack is on here as well. Co-creator of the House of Anaconda with Lady Anaconda. How you doing this evening, brother?
How you doing, brother?
You ain't here, bro. Thanks for having us. Thanks for holding the space. So what we wanted to talk about tonight is renegades in the real world, or women that are just like, hey, I don't need no control, I don't need no nothing, I just want to do what I want to do, but then at the same time I want direction, I want all of these things that comes with a woman who knows how to be at minimum subby, switchy, that type of thing. So we just want to talk about that in reference to this Brittany Renner interview where this woman has said out loud, and we can see her behavior. Basically, she got her a young beta that was in the NBA that she could dominate, right? And she got what she got out of him. That's fine. That's cool. Whatever. But now it's a situation where she is what we would call acting out. Like she is sitting on people, straddling people. To the untrained eyes, it's like, oh, you're just acting out. To somebody who's been around this lifestyle and knows about doms and subs, baby is begging for domination, like begging for it, because she's been dominating everybody else. So in order to find the balance, it seems to me that she wants to be dominated by someone who can actually dominate her. What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this comes down to self-awareness, right? Because we see all the time, in our lifestyle, we see women that are very comfortable in their alpha mindset, especially a lot of these dominatrixes, these femdoms. They whether they're single or they're in a relationship with somebody who's a little bit, in their kind of subby role, and they're calling the shots. Obviously we see that in cuckold dynamics too, female led relationships, FLR. It's just about, self-awareness, and she doesn't seem to know um what she's looking for, the way she's acting out. So like, because when I think of the term renegade, uh I think there's a little bit of like a denial in there. You're just like
Denial of
out,
what?
like denial of like who you are, what you need, because like, there's women that don't necessarily need the structure or the guidance that an alpha man, a man who really carries himself with comfort in his masculinity, a man who's going to challenge a woman to better herself, be like come to his level. When a woman's in her comfortable domination mode and she's in the type of dynamic that she wants for that, she's calling the shots and she's in that alpha position, which we see in these coupled, dynamics, or these femdom women who don't want a man telling them what to do. They're self-aware. They're aware that that's what they want. They want to be calling the shots. They want to be, in the power position. But you have these women out here that want, it's almost like they wish that they were, or they want to be, even if they're not like aware of it, more like those women that are
Yeah.
kind of leading with their own alpha, but they're
Yeah.
not cut out for that. They're not built for that. They're not living up to their full potential. And instead of understanding what they do need, and seeking that out, and being available, making themselves available for that, and attracting
Well,
that kind of
let's use
action.
you.
Yeah, I saw
Let's
her
use
like
you as
straddling and stuff. She wants,
yeah, but then at the same time
but
showing
not just by
aggression.
anybody. Nobody wants to be checked by just anybody. So like, like it's just like anything else, you have to be ready to receive, and it's got to be the right person that, the energy is there, because people uh expect, for instance, as a QoS, they like to put their fantasies and their kinks on me, that I would submit to just any black man. And that's fine for a fantasy, but that's not real life. It's just not. And I know myself well enough to know what kind of energy I can be presented with, that I'm almost not even going to be able to resist submitting, because I know who I am. But yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to being honest with yourself, and like awareness of who you are and what you need to be your truest and
I
best
say it
self.
like this, like in the real world, she's allowed to act out and do all of these things while we know in the back of her head, or we think we know in the back of her head, that she wants some structure, she wants some, you know,
Mhm. That's how
security,
she's acting.
that's how she's acting. So,
Mhm.
with you being an example, you're a switch. You know what I mean? Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
That you're a
100%.
switch? All right.
100%.
So with you, and for those who don't know what a switch is someone, and in Lady Anaconda's case, this is a person, an individual who can dominate betas, but is submissive to dominance. That is what we're using as a working definition of a switch. So for Lady Anaconda and women like her, she's able to enjoy being dominated by specific black kings, and also the dynamic of dominating betas.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And those women seem to be able to enjoy the lifestyle because they get what they're actually looking for. You know what I mean? As opposed to, hey, I'm an alpha woman and I'm da 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 da, even though I got 20 dudes railing me. I mean, you can dominate, just dominate these cucks that want to be dominated. Like you're not dominating the men that's railing you. Like that's like
But there's
you're
a
being
lot of like that's
dominated.
why I was talking about the femdoms. There's a lot of femdom, female dominant women that lean entirely into their dominant energy. They're not comfortable being submissive, and they're a lot of their sex life is and the relationship life is completely different from mine because
Right,
they'll be like using these submissive guys as like sex toys, like telling them exactly how to fuck them, like they're riding their faces, they're like, you know what I mean, like just
right.
very very in control, very alpha in the bedroom as well as in the dynamic altogether. And there's a lot of the energy of just female superiority. So it doesn't, they're not QoS, right? So they don't recognize Black supremacy. They're just very much like, I'm a female, so I am superior. As woman, I'm superior, So you've got those elements going on with some women and how they date. But these renegades specifically, just feel like renegades get in their own way because they're not self aware and they're looking for something, but they don't know what it is. And they're like acting out and like trying to,
Renegade.
like you can like see what they want by how they're acting because you understand, but they aren't like self aware. So, like, yeah, she damn near asking like a real man to come in there and lay down the law, but some women just aren't comfortable with that side of themselves, so they act like that's not. And
I'm
also,
on a
like,
podcast
you can't be
talking
like,
about
I'm looking for love and like
mhm,
straddling a bunch of random dudes on podcasts, so there's that issue
talking about
as well.
dick and pussy situations. I got a bodacious wife in front of me asking me what I'm doing right now. I'm telling her about the podcast that we're doing, and she's over here talking to me with hard nipples, asking me what I'm doing. No, what are you doing? What you doing?
What are
What are you
you doing?
doing?
I hope she's having a wonderful time.
Oh, well, now she's placed my hands, both my hands on her bodacious breeder feeders that we have here. Oh my
Breeder, if only I
God.
could show mine too, but they're
Yeah,
here.
please. Hey, please listen. Life is good. So, like, with this whole thing with women wanting a dominant figure in their life, it's like if you want that, you can have that, and then you can also have the balance of dominating these betas who wanna be dominated by you. And I guess that's the main thing. Like, you don't have to be wanting a daddy and I have one where you can have a daddy and also have betas that will pay your bills and do all those, be your emotional tampon. Because the main dude that beats it out the frame probably don't want to hear that shit. But there's betas that want to hear all about your day, all about your emotions, and all of that, and they're here for you. They'll take you shopping and all that shit. Like it just is what it is. All this while I'm
Well,
rubbing on nipples, by the way.
you know, that term, renegades, used to be used by the old players and pimps and stuff like that. That means a girl who used to be under their employ and then said, "Well, I can do it on my own," and they leave, they lose all the money,
Oh.
end up broke, and then they come back,
Yeah.
and then they says, "What's he say? Don't change the locks. She'll be back." That's the renegade term,
Mhm.
and it works the same way in this world that we're in because there'll be a woman that says she can do it. I got it. I'm independent, but not really.
Yeah.
Your kids are messed up. You got stuff going on in your life that's bad. Your car's messed up. Don't check me. Check your
Right.
oil light. You know what I'm saying? You know, don't check
You
me.
just
Check.
fucked up in the game because she ain't got no structure. No
Yeah.
structure,
You know what I
no
mean? So
no foresight, you know?
no
Yeah.
foresight. She's making $100,000 a month, but she's broke at the end of the month. You know what
How,
I'm
bitch?
saying?
Mhm.
How? Why,
You know,
bitch? Why?
asking you for gas money and stuff So it's just these things that
$40.
happen. forty
You know
dollars. Yeah,
that
asking for a
$40.
whole $40. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I
So it's
mean,
just
Because we see
that's
that a
kind of
lot in the
you know.
supposed findom world, where there's women that are running whole empires on their own, whether they've got a boyfriend on the side of whatever kind or a full roster, whatever they're doing. they're running their professional life themselves. They're running their, they are self-motivated and they're doing it themselves. And then there's women that just are not self-motivated and they're not lesser than. They just need something else. They need structure that comes from. And again, it could, maybe they need a girlfriend that, is helping them run their shit. I'm not saying that they all need the same thing, but it's just some people need structure that's given to them and some people can create that structure for themselves, and you can see that in all sorts of different dynamics, especially when it comes to this lifestyle of, you can have both. Like, you can have a more subby guy at home, like you're saying, taking you shopping, paying your bills, being your emotional tampon, taking care of you because that's what he can provide and that's what he wants. And then, you can, like, because I got girlfriends that are attracted to a lot of toxic, like these sexy dudes, but they're toxic. They're not trying to settle down. They're not trying to, you know, be there promptly every weeknight for dinner, whatever the heck. Like, okay, have fun with them because that's where their mindset is. That's what they're about right now. They're just living their life. You have your little bait at home, pay the bills and, hold you down, and then
Hey,
go
and
out and do what
that's
you want
all
to do.
legal. You can do
All that's
that. You
fine.
can
It's
actually do
beautiful.
that. But in the real world, quote unquote, or in the vanilla world or whatever, they tell you that, you can't have that. Over here we're telling you you can have it and there's trade-offs. You know what I mean? Like you have to flesh it out, you have to communicate, you have to, establish parameters and boundaries, that type of thing. But sirs and ma'ams and cucks and losers, everything that you're looking for is feasible. You just need to be, first of all, okay within yourself, have the courage to go out there and look for it, but have the courage to have the conversation as well. But it's there, you know,
Yeah.
today.
Oh my
Which
God.
brings me to my next point that we wanted to talk about. So,
Hmm.
we've seen the recent uh, serial killing or attempt, especially the one that happened directly after the one at the dollar store, Dollar General, that type of thing. But like Lady A and Rack, how do you guys feel about femdoms stepping up and wanting to talk more to incels to sort of prevent these types of things from happening? How do you feel about that?
Um, I want to say something real quick about that because I got a couple feelings about that. The main problem that this incel thing even comes from is because of the way our society is shaped in the United States. Now, there's
Okay.
incels in other countries, blah, blah, blah. But you know what incels normally do here, used to do in the United States? They used to hire a prostitute. They used to hire
Yeah.
a male prostitute, whatever. They would just do
Yeah.
whatever and handle their business, and then their life got a little bit better for them, and they would talk to
Right.
them, blah blah. But now it's all tarred. It's expensive now. It's a different game now. It's expensive. Uh, all that shit has changed, and now there's more and more incels, and now you've got a whole culture built like the Andrew Tates of the world and stuff like that on incel culture. So it's pushing these kids and younger people even harder to, oh, don't jerk it at home anymore and just follow the word of Andrew Tate and don't forget to send him money. But also, don't talk to girls anymore. Let girls talk to you. You need to worry about focus on stacking money. You need to worry about this. Some of these messages are good, but they're not for everybody, and it causes more incels.
Lady A.
Hmm. That's interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, I would definitely personally love to, I don't know if infiltrate's the right word, but like find more ways to get into these incel spaces. Like, I don't know if I need to literally like backdoor into some chat rooms or something, but
Some QAnon shit. You need to go on their fucking leader, their threads and shit, and be like, "Hi."
yeah, like but
They
like,
talk about her all the time on Reddit.
do
Yep.
I
Yep.
go in as myself, and or do I go in covert and pretend to be one of them and be like, actually, I recently had a conversation with this femdom who does cuckolding, and I realized that it's not just this or this. It's not just traditional monogamous, I can provide all your needs relationship, you know, or incel, glorify my sexlessness, be angry, be misogynistic, be resentful, be violent, be whatever, you know, that maybe there's actually like a happy place between these two where I can have intimacy, where I can have a relationship, where I can, at the very least, have like a professional Dom who exposes me to different types of kinky situations, like, you know, orgasm control and, you know, all sorts of different things. Like, I think that there's a lack of education. I think that there's a lack of, you know, I mean, they're you know in an echo chamber first of all. So like I was reading one thing about the incel culture and like the incel world on Reddit and otherwise, where they, just like any other cult, they like shame you for trying to like leave and get your life together, right? So they're all trying to like hold each other back and like hold each other in this space, instead of like, what what could we do to try something different, or to, you know, try and find satisfaction in some other way, or, you know, like, I mean, some of them, to your point, Daddy Rock, of course, like they go down that Andrew Tate path of supposed self-improvement, and maybe it works for some people, but, you know, I think there's a lot of underlying issues that they're not dealing with. Like, okay, maybe you made some money trading online now, but that doesn't mean that you still, that you can talk to girls or
Yeah,
that you can
you're
please
just a
women.
paid beta. You,
Like
because
it,
if nobody's giving you game with this shit, like, okay, yeah, go make your body right, cool. Yeah, go get your money up, cool. But if nobody's telling you to know your station, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, even though you got money, even though you got whatever, well,
no,
women still don't look at you a certain way. And you
right,
can't get mad that, if you still didn't develop your character, that women just want you for your money. Like they don't like you like that. Like you gotta just accept your station. You know what I'm saying? So I guess what I'm saying with this incel culture and the fact that femdoms have a better or a greater radius to speak to these guys or whatever is just like how I look at it. To be honest, I look at what you ladies do as far as femdom is more of a therapy or a safe space for them to get out all of these deviant thoughts or whatever. I mean, they tell you all kind of stuff. They tell me some things, but I can only imagine the things that they tell you, Lady Anaconda, in this quote unquote safe space or when they're in subspace, whatever. And it's just like, this is the opportunity to, especially if they're thinking some bad things, if they want to do some negative shit, this is opportunity for you to be like, hey, not only is this bad, but here's a solution. You know what I mean? Or if you're a white guy that's constantly thinking about black dicks 25-8, and you may want to do something bad to them or to yourself or whatever, when they come to speak to a femdom, you guys can give them proper instructions because who else are they going to talk to about this? Like this police officer that's been wearing panties for the last 10 years, while he's in police uniform begging to get caught. Same cop is walking around here doing frisk and what do they call that? Stop and frisk, where he's touching on black men's dicks and shit on purpose because he never resolved the fucking childhood trauma when he saw his mom sucking a big black dick when he was 10. Like, you have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going away. And, femdoms are the people that will be able to talk to those types of guys to help them know how to act accordingly. Okay, you're addicted to big black dick. Great. Good. Okay, here's a better way of displaying that. Here's your safe space. You get what I'm saying?
yeah. I know that we definitely provide a safe space, but it is more for like a cathartic kind of experience, because at the end of the day, I mean, you know, we can lend a little bit of like a counselor vibe, but obviously, and you know, I think that it's proven by the process that you have on your website, that you have an actual professional that, you know, is involved in the process that you have in your intake. At the end of the day, dominatrixes are not therapists, and you know, there's too many guys that come to us totally living out a fantasy, or they're lying the whole time, or they're,
Right.
you know, they want to talk, like even just the the controversial element of the fact that some of these white guys do approach, say, the BNWO spaces or individuals like, you or myself or, other Black superiors or QS Doms that are in the lifestyle space, but they are living out their truth. And, we're just both online and, making ourselves available to them, for sessions, but we are living a lifestyle. There are some of these subs that, they do have either white guilt or they do truly understand the reality of Black supremacy. And like, we're not just talking about a kink or a fantasy. Like we're talking about, no, we truly like, was it Big Mike has talked about, like, a number of Black men and women have been like, no, yeah, like life started in Africa. You better fucking respect. Right. So like, that's not this kink for us. This isn't a fetish for us. But there are so many of these white males. I'm not even going to go down the road of the sissies, but so many of these white males who pretend that they believe in Black supremacy, but it is entirely something that they put in a box for when they get off work and they huff a few of the whatever the, I can't think what they're called all of a sudden.
Poppers, all that shit. Yep.
Poppers, the poppers, and they just literally want to goon and jerk off to interracial porn or Black domination porn or whatever, and they want to talk to somebody that makes that type of content or who will indulge that type of fantasy for them, and then post nut clarity, right? Oh, actually, I'm a privileged white guy in America, so yeah, all of that's not real. No,
Right.
it is real, and we
You
know
are
that there
actually
are,
addicted.
like, actually, the white supremacy system is all delusion and all lies and all brainwashing to try to, protect your fragility. And like, we could go down that road, anytime. We normally do. We fleshed that out a number of times. But my point being that, um, when you're in this world professionally and even in this lifestyle world consistently, you learn that there is a difference between the guys that approach that are actually minded about, like, how can I be a better person? How can I not be, an incel loser, angry, racist, misogynistic? Like, how can I live a better life and connect with people better and serve a dominant better and find a cuckoldress that, actually values what I can bring to her, but I can value, her living her freedom and living her truth and being her best self and supporting, Black kings and queens, but what can I do, versus the guys that literally just want to pay to play. They're a kinkster, they're still in denial. They'll get really angry at somebody like myself who, if they think that I'm just going to indulge whatever crazy fantasy, and they are still using the N word, and like, also there's a number of red flags that show that they're not actually minded, in the way that they need to be to actually get something out of the conversation they could have with somebody like me or you, the consultation they could have, or even the real time interaction that they could have, and, actually really get something tangible and something meaningful out of it and really apply it to how they live their life. That you got a lot of fakes and losers and liars, that also are a part of it. So, I mean, there's an element of therapist interaction, counselor, a little bit, but there's some of these dudes need a whole lot more work on themselves
Real
than
help.
they need a professional, for certain things, because mental health, that's a real issue in this country. And part of it is because we live in a system that is built entirely on lies. Like, white supremacy is the number one lie of the world, and it has, just infiltrated cultures everywhere, so that there's like all this racism in like Asian countries, and it's like there's not even white people there. Like, like,
Right.
what are y'all, like, were you abiding by these BS? Like, it just, because why? Because white people were the ones that were willing to, like, just terrorize everybody and just, just use manipulation and force to just try and preserve their fragile DNA. Like, that's not superior. That's not Darwin. I'll tell you that much. So, there's a lot to be said for how important it is that women can do something for these guys who are open to it, you
There
know,
you go.
or
So
yeah.
so like I don't know, like I think about the whole incel culture thing. I just think about like oh man, the black people, they're taking all your jobs, man. The Mexicans, they're taking all your jobs, they're destroying everything. You got to go get them, and you got to work out every day. Don't talk to any women. Like they just build on top of it and build on top of it, and they use racism and sexism. Look at the women. The women are just they're just running away from you, and they're having sex with all these guys on OnlyFans, and then they're going to become millionaires, and they're not going to need you anymore. And it's like they teach them, they tell them all this stuff, and not realizing that white males still rule the universe, and they
Right.
have for a very long time. Now, do they rule the universe through fear and entitlement and
And
riches
racism?
and
Yes,
racism and
definitely.
riches? Yeah. Do they rule because of superiority? No, they don't.
No.
They give money to the lowest fruit to so they can stay in power. They never actually stay in power because they belong in power. So this whole energy creates this incel culture. This whole vibe makes the incel culture.
And I mean, just not to get super deep, but the state of our earth, like, is evidence that the wrong people are in charge. So, like, but yeah, that's always funny to me. Like, just the OnlyFans, like who was it that we were talking about the other day, and they were talking about how women, especially the OnlyFans women, like need to be slut shamed for their own good. Was it Timcast or something? I can't remember what it
Simple,
is.
simple.
But yeah, so like, but it's just exactly like what you said. Like they don't want women to be aware of their own power and to, be with a man, regardless of a submissive male or a dominant man. Like they don't want them to be with somebody and structuring their life the way they want it because they want it. They want women that need them. They want women that they can manipulate and control, that need them, not a woman that's like, I would, I'm the type of person that would be fine on my own. I can provide my own structure, but I want you. They just, want to over, and those are the type of guys that overcompensate. Like they're not a natural dominant. They're not, somebody who is just self-assured and confident and like, powerful in his own uh being. Like they're just these losers that are just trying to overcompensate and to manipulate and demean women and are threatened by a woman's sexuality. Like I'll say it again, one of the main reasons why I became the black man devoted QoS that I am at the young age that I did of 19, and since, is because black men were not intimidated by me. They did not need to overcompensate with me, trying to like get me to do something they wanted me to do. Like I just naturally yielded to their power, their influence, their confidence that I wanted to please them. I wanted to make them happy. I wanted to, and it was just like they were inspiring to me. Like they, like it was insane. Like even like black men that I was interacting with on a very casual, like we weren't dating, they were providing structure and advice and like guidance to me just just because that's who they were.
Right. Yeah.
It's amazing,
Yeah, yeah,
so
and I hope that like I
Hold
hope
on,
that
hold on,
like
hold on, hold on. Come here. No, no, come here. It's not video. It's not video. Come here, come here. I got you. Hold on. Come here, come here, come here. No video.
oh, Pharaoh.
And we can hear you. Can you tell us what you just finished doing? You beat the shit out of your pussy, and it was all consensual. You did what you wanted to. He did, and it was all good, right? And you're a bit of a size queen, right? Like what is your minimum? All your spots? All your spots? Okay. Okay. Anything else you want, like, ladies to know about this experience or anything? Like, how do you feel right now? Hmm? No, it's all audio. This lady right here is Lady Anaconda. For all intents and purposes, she's the number one queen of spade on the planet. Like, on the planet, right? So we're having a discussion. That is her husband, fiance, man, right there. This dude like 6'5", and fucking NBA cat, all this other good shit or whatever. So them two together fucking run this fucking empire called House of Anaconda, and they pretty much do their thing or whatever. So we're having conversations about current affairs, talking about women that wish they could attend these type of parties and get fucked out the frame, how you just got fucked out the frame, and it's all good. So
It's
that's what we
all
do.
good.
That's what we do. So go ahead, Lady Anaconda. Go ahead.
I'm just,
Talking to the side
I
queen.
told you, every once in a while, I just be a little bit of that FOMO be creeping in. And it's like the fact that I can picture exactly where you are. I can think about the last time I was there,
And this bitch
like
walking around naked, titties out, just
I was
got
just
fucked out the
grabbing dick
frame,
in
like
hallways. Like I was
Fucking naked.
bucking naked, just walking
I
around.
think one of the things I loved was when we were in one of the littler rooms, and it's like, of course, dude with the lights, like the lights are like blaring, like whatever. I didn't care about that, but I was just like standing next to the bed. I just got finished getting, blasted out the frame. But like and then we're just chatting. And then somebody else like was just like, hey, y'all done with this bed, we're just gonna, and they're like, so we're still standing there, the bed's like right here, and they're like, we're just gonna use this, and they just start going
Yeah,
at it.
let me
We're
get this
still just
corner real
standing
quick.
here having like
Yeah,
chit chat, like it was so comfortable. It was so wonderful. It's just like my happy place for sure. Love it.
that post sex, you know what I mean? Like, excuse me, let me use the corner of this bed while y'all talking real
Excuse me,
quick. Excuse
sir.
me.
Yeah, for
Excuse
real.
me, sir.
Is this a
So
free space? Like, can I? Thank
Oh
you.
my goodness.
it's interesting party etiquette, you know, like here at these types of events, we say it all the time. Your chances of you having sex are very good, like almost like over 95%, but you still have to possess those human interpersonal skills to walk up to somebody, hey, how are you doing?
Thank
My
you.
name
Like
is da 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 da
extra.
da. Yeah, you can't just put your pussy in somebody's face. You can't just put your dick in somebody's face. Like you gotta actually like talk to motherfuckers. So it's good to see that shit. Like I
Again, like
watched
I have. Yeah, go ahead.
I like the lady that just finished talking. I watched the young cat just walk up to her. He introduced himself. That like, and when I told you, she's like, okay, this shit about to get fucked out the frame. So I got her walking in and coming out. She's just like, oh, and it's all good. I asked her, was it consensual? She's like, yes, it was all good. Everything happened the way that I wanted to happen. He's happy. I'm happy. Like my thing is, why do people outside of what we do want to have bad experiences when you can have a good one? And this woman is a clear example of it. She talked to this guy, they had a good interaction, they had a conversation about boundaries, I'm sure. Hey, I don't like such and such. Now she a nasty slut. She probably want to be spit in the mouth and choked out and all this kind of other good shit on site. And that's okay. If you
On
talk
God.
about it, you do all of that because
Yeah.
she's a size queen slut. Like she here get look, she about to get fucked out the frame again. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, look, it's okay if that's what you're into. Just
It
have
is,
the conversation with other consenting
but
adults and get
you
it
know,
done.
this country doesn't want you to like. It's like gross to me how much movies about cheating and violence from infidelity is
Yeah.
like this
Right.
whole is like this whole sect of our culture that we've just accepted, and it's like just I mean, again, I'm super bisexual. Like when I was able to open up to Daddy Rock about how bisexual I am and how I would really like to play with girls with you, that's something I would really like to do. I mean,
Right.
obviously, he was like, yeah, that sounds great. You have to lead it
Of
because I
course.
need to know that it's happening the way that you're comfortable, that it's like a woman that
Right.
you're into, like, and I'm into, like, all of that. But I mean, it's still just, even if, I mean, I don't know. I'm always surprised when women are like not into other women. So like that's my own thing. I understand they're on the spectrum, wherever they want to be. That's what I don't. Women are just, to me, it's like just the softness, like the fact that we can be just whatever. I can't. Women are amazing. I couldn't
Hey,
imagine not being attracted to men and women. Like the only thing
uh,
I'm not attracted to is white boys. So like,
y- yeah,
just can't relate. But
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just forgot to
no,
mention
please.
something. Uh, Pharaoh, we didn't get to talk about this, and we should have had it as the first subject today. How do you feel about Fresh and Fit basically getting demonetized from social?
Ah, yeah, we could definitely talk about that shit. Hell yeah. All right, so look, the name of the game right now, and it's probably going to be like this for a while, is clicks, because clicks gets you to advertisement, right? So that's what that's about. And their model was bring bad bitches on who have an opposing opinion of what you do, because they were talking about the things that you talked about, the Andrew Tate type thing or whatever, and then have women come on, IG models, OnlyFans models, because all them bitches that came on there profited double and triple, because only incels watch Fresh and Fit, right? So
Right, right.
all of the women's, and you can go look at it on TikTok. All the women who had OnlyFans, all their paid followerships double and triple. So the model worked. They got demonetized because what's his name? Not Marlon. And this motherfucker's from the Sudan. That's not even his real name, by the way. He was doing some racist shit. You know what I'm saying? Putting on the
Yeah.
Klan hood and all kind of other good
Mhm.
stuff. So you're gonna get demonetized, even though you
Yeah,
have a good model.
I'm
Like fuck you. Like we're up out of here.
I'm like, you guys, and I hate jumping into the whole Tariq Nasheed thing, but you guys are not FBA, and you talk crazy about black women all day long
Crazy,
on your channel.
crazy.
And you guys are African, all right? You got welcomed to this country with open arms, and then you're making some real money online. Show a little bit of respect. You're going too hard on other African women, other Nigerian women that are like in Miami. They come on the show and stuff. They had an Egyptian girl on there. She looks like a white girl, but she's not. She's Egyptian. And
Yeah,
then there's a lot of girls from other places around the world into Miami. You know how Miami is. And they
yeah,
just talk crazy. And look, I get it. Some of the stuff that they say isn't totally wrong. That the way women want to have this nice man, high value man, and stuff like that, but they
right,
really outside and they in the street still, and they're not really, you know what I mean? They're not. Their stuff isn't even really 100% tight, but they want this high value man. So I understand some of that stuff they're talking about, but half of it is bullshit. Now
right.
they got this $1 trillion office they're paying for, and I don't think they can even use it right now. They on Tim Pool's show right now, trying to help him with
They
his
done.
place.
They done. Yeah, and I mean, look, how they did it, their model is probably going to be the thing moving forward, because everybody else is copying that style on YouTube. You have guys talking about men's subjects, and you bring on women who obviously oppose that. You know what I mean? Like whatever they're talking about. You know what I mean? So it's like they got demonetized because they went like, bro, your base, which is African American people, got you hot, got you paid.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So for you to turn around and then shit on them, because that's what they wanted to do anyway. They always wanted to shit on, FBA. They always wanted to do that shit, and that's fine. But you don't think that you're going to survive after that, because not only will you not have a fan base of the black people, but YouTube is like, nah, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you went full retard. Like Robert Downey said in fucking Tropic Thunder. You went full retard. You put on a whole hood. Are you stupid? I don't. You can't joke like that. Are you stupid? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, size queen return. Mm.
Uh, just to let you guys know, shout out to Cass. I see Cass in
Mm-hmm.
the chat. Shout out to
Yeah, bro.
everybody else. Shout out to Tara. We got some guy in here that I think you might know, Pharaoh, but we'll talk about him later.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I don't like that they only kicked off them. I think Tim Pool and everybody else should be gone too, and Tate should be
All of
gone
them.
too. There's no reason Tate should be
All
on
of them.
there still. They got an indictment
Just
right
respect.
now in another country. So
Yeah.
I hate how they
It's
kind of just
interesting
pick the
too,
black
right?
guys
Because
out
like
first.
people like Tate, Fresh Tate, what I feel like they're advising.
Yes,
There's a
they
certain
are.
level of like they're telling people what they should do. So that is problematic. Like they're not just I don't feel like they're stopping at this is my opinion on something, take it or leave it. They're putting themselves in a position of you should do this. You
I
should
just
live
think
like
that
this.
Fresh and Fit are guilty of being toxic, but the Tate brothers are guilty of sex trafficking. What's up with
Mhm.
that? Like, I mean, I
Are
know
they
there's some
not?
kids.
Are they not kicked? Aren't they? They're not operating right now, are they?
I thought they're on YouTube. I thought they were
Yeah,
on Twitch.
they're Twitch, Rumble, all these places. Look,
Yeah, they're
top
on
and
Rumble
bottom
too.
line, there'll always be a market, a space, a platform to talk to guys who need improvement. Because all men need improvement. It's just that some men assume this beta role and they'll never be anything outside of beta. And that's a huge market. That's just like Jenny Craig will never go out of style because there's always gonna be fat bitches that need to lose weight. Always. You know what I'm saying? Like any of these things that don't actually help you, you know what I mean?
Or
Like a dentist. A
want
dentist
to
can't.
lose weight. There's
Yeah.
plenty of very happy fat women who know that they're beautiful anyway. Want to lose weight. Let's just clarify.
Want to.
And
We're
yeah,
body
like I
positive.
said, yeah, yeah, that thing too. But like I'm saying, there's always things in place that don't necessarily want to get you to your desired goal. They just want to keep you where you're at so you can keep paying.
Yeah.
And we can think of countless of examples of that. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
Also, it's crazy. And look, I seen that guy that got busted with the Proud Boys or whatever. But people,
yo, yo,
these guys are racist and stuff. They love Andrew Tate
yo,
and
yo.
his brother so much, but they're black.
Have a seat for me. Hey, look, I got the young king that just finished like slaying that slut. We're gonna talk to him real quick, bro.
Oh my
They
Go
can't
god,
for
see
it.
you. It's all audio. All audio. Can you tell us what you just finished doing? Like what you've been doing the whole night? Because I've been watching you from here. I can see.
what you
Can can
been
can
doing?
can you? They can't see you. It's all audio. No face, right? Can you describe what's going on right now? What you've been doing for like the last few hours? Playing that pussy. Now, are any of these women your wife, your girlfriend, any of that? Not to your, now he said not to his knowledge. Just make it funny. So when you step to them or they step to you, what is the conversation like?
We can't hear him.
You
Yeah, we
can't
can't
hear?
hear.
Okay, okay. Come here. All right,
His mic,
go
his
ahead. Say it
mic.
again now.
We can't hear him at all. I, I feel like he should be closer than that. We still can't hear him.
Yeah. So in case you guys can't hear, what he's saying is when he's here in a play party type set situation or whatever, he plays it cool. He's reading the room. He's accepting verbal and non-verbal clues from women. Some women tap his shoulder. Some women give him extended eye contact to let him know. Some women actually walk him. It's just like, hey, what's up? He then introduces himself, what's up, establishes boundaries. Hey, this is what I'm into, da da da. The woman then also gives her boundaries, that type of thing. And what you 4 for 4 tonight? What your number is right now? I think he say he 4 for 4 tonight. Just slamming on women, just cause. Yeah, he don't
Well,
even count. He didn't even count, but he's just saying that every experience has been like that, all consensual. I'm doing this. You want to do this, da 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 da. So just wanted to talk to the brother. Thank you, for your insight. Appreciate
thank
it,
you,
G.
King. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Go ahead. What were you saying? I meant to interrupt y'all. What y'all was saying?
No, first of all, I am very much a eye contact, and then I
Yeah.
walk right up to him. And if he's down, dicks out the pants. Like I
Look out. I mean, once the boobs come out, that's half the party. Once the dick
Oh
come
man,
out, it's like, all right, now we partying.
Well,
Now we
that's why I
partying.
wore that
pretty
dress that
much.
night. I was like, I don't need this. I was like, I don't need a bra. I don't need panties. I'm just gonna wear this dress just because I have to. Let's get it popping.
Easy access dresses, party dresses are the way to go. You know,
Street,
sometimes
Always.
you just
the
want to slip the
streets
panties
are
to the
active.
side, pull a boob out. That's what we
One,
need.
maybe two.
The
Hey,
streets is active, bro.
yeah, man. So,
Oh
what you
man.
got, Rack? You should be closing this down. I got this bunny over my shoulder saying she bored and wants some dick, so I got to go do some shit. Like, what's up? What's good? We got to close this shit out.
Oh
All
my gosh.
right,
Was
well,
there anything else specifically that you wanted to make sure to touch on before we wrap it up?
Um, I think we had a nice conclusion as far as like renegades or whatever. Like if you're somebody who's wanting to have some type of discipline and structure, there are people qualified for you. If you don't want that, do your thing. All we're saying is, in case you didn't know, there are situationships that you can get into, and you can talk it out, and everybody be on the same page, all while having those betas that take care of those things that you want to. And then the other thing, as far as like the incels that do some wild things or whatever, although femdoms are not therapists, like that type of thing, not professional therapists. um Most of these guys do need to speak to professionals, but
Mm.
femdoms have a little bit of responsibility to talk to these guys and make sure that they get the help that they need. That's all I had, really.
Okay.
Yeah, some of that therapy can come from them finally like sitting with themselves and like after having some interactions with the dom, with the cuckoldress, realizing some of the things they need to come to terms with, and if they're really about that self-improvement
Really?
life,
Man.
open that door for sure.
Well,
Yeah,
I know that you have your own personal feelings, Mr.
yeah.
Pharaoh, but
About there
everybody's got to get paid.
you go.
Shout out to Danny Black. He got us our new hats. Shout out to us
Support
and
black
Marty
business.
supporting black business and supporting the black business that we got our own clothing. We got the Anaconda clothing. We got our hats. The hats are beautiful. I love it.
This one
That's
matches
just,
my Miami jersey. I like this one.
yeah, I came up with that design myself. I love it. It looks
Good
great.
job.
And Central Circus is wearing his own gear. It's about to get ripped off his body. That's coming.
Right now, it won't stay on me for long, but life is good.
The Black King gear.
Yeah,
Everybody,
man.
I'm glad you guys came in the chat and everything. Oh man. All right. Well, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in chat.
You don't want to read nothing from the chat? You good?
You
Yeah,
want to read
we
some?
ain't got
You can read a
nothing.
couple things.
No, the thing I have to read is too much. So
Oh
we'll talk
gosh.
about it another time. You guys have an excellent night. You have an excellent night. We're hating on you right now, Pharaoh. We miss you and we miss your
No,
adventures.
all
Hey
love,
man.
all love. A little bit of
All love,
FOMO,
all
but
love.
all love.
Oh my
Hey,
God,
hey,
sexy freaks
hey,
is
hey,
walking in
hey.
here. Oh my God. Can you just walk? Can you just walk this right here? Can you
Nah,
just
don't
walk
do
this right
that.
here? No,
All
no, not
right,
in front of me.
guys.
I just want
You
to
have
see
an
this. Hey, well,
excellent
look,
night.
let me tell everybody. Look, you can get. Oh my God, the Sensual Circus. Y'all hit me up for all of your needs, like events, clothing, the whole nine. Thank you, Daddy Rack, House Anaconda, for having us. Lady Anaconda, you want to do your sign off too?
LadyAnacondaHway.com. That's all you really need to know.
Message,
That's it.
Let's go.
message, message, message.
One.
All right, I'm about to go get nasty. Y'all be
Have
cool.
a good
Bye.
one. Let's
Have
go.
fun. He's like, I gotta get off here.
The worst.